Told you once, now tell you twice. The way I feel, here's my advice. I told you once, now the way I feel, here's my advice. Now tell you twice. The way I feel, here's my advice. I told you once, now tell you twice.
Hello everyone, and thank you for enjoying my mom's show, God's Gift Through His Word. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I hope you guys stay tuning into my mom's show.
You're listening to God's Gift Through His Word with TDrake. Yeah. That's right.
You are listening to God's Gift Through His Word with your hostess, TDrake. If you enjoy the show here, don't forget to go to the Apple Podcast platform and make sure to leave a review and a 5-star rating so that other listeners can find her. Reviews are the best way for people to know how great she is. You can also go to the Castbox app and leave a comment on her show. Thank you so much for listening. Here's Tanika.
Good. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? This is TDrake, of course, and you are listening to God's Gift Through His Word. And I have the pleasure of being with my good friend and fellow podcaster, Pastor Jay, and we are going to be talking about cuffing season. But today we're going to be looking at saying no, the power of saying no, and kind of intertwine some other things. So good morning, Pastor Jay.
Good morning, T. What's going on?
Not much. How are you feeling with cuffing season being here?
I am so excited that we have cuffing season coming back around, and God has blessed us to be able to talk about this dangerous time in society, even, more so now with COVID. But it's still a dangerous time regardless. And we really got a great response last year when we were talking about this season, because a lot of people don't understand the psychological nature of winter and fall that brings them into this thing called cuffing season. Not surprisingly, there's a lot of people that don't know what cuffing season is. So I think, we need to go there before we go to the power of saying no.
Okay, well, let's talk about that real briefly, and I'll just do a quick synopsis, a summary of it. So cuffing season is a time during the colder months between October to February 14th, the main time when people start wanting to be together because of colder months in different parts of course, the United States. Singles want to be together, hence the word cuffing, like handcuff, they want to be in a relationship. So with that being said, they want to be having someone in their bed, having someone around. Holiday seasons are coming as well in the colder months, so they want that companionship. So that is the really short version of what cuffing season is. Anything you want to add to that, Pastor Jay?
Yes, and because of that, the nature of cuffing season, if you listen to Sister T's definition, it's also the time to where it's because of singles and some married people want to be with people, other people. It creates the atmosphere for a lot of bad things to happen, a lot of bad relationships to start. And because there are people who know, they may not be able to give you the definition of the season, but we know that there are predators that take advantage of the people who want to have serious relationships.
And when you said that, Pastor Jay, it made me think, because right now, since cuffing season is here and we have COVID-19 and they've meshed together. This is something that has never happened before. We're living in an unprecedented time. So COVID-19, the Corona meeting, cuffing season, and people wanting to quarantine together and the sense of the isolation. Do you think, in your humble opinion, that it would be a wise idea for someone to jump into a relationship, not just because of COVID, but they have cuffing season in mind and they put them together and they're watching people pass. So they're thinking, I don't have too much time. I need to get with someone.
Well, yeah, the cuffing season, the draw of the cuffing season, or what we would call mating season or rutting season, is so strong that people would go into a relationship not knowing the status of other people's health. And with this thing being social and airborne, you can end up starting a relationship that could technically kill you in a short amount of time. But it's quite interesting to me, the psychological nature of it, that you want to participate in this season so bad that you would risk your life. Because your psychological nature tells you that it's starving for companionship, you know. And again, the dangerous part is there are those people who understand the nature of the season and just are predators during this season, and they care little to nothing about health.
Right.
You know, take the mask off, take the clothes off, because I want to be with somebody. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just dangerous.
Yeah, I really do see where you're coming from on that point. And to add to that, it actually is perplexing to think that people are so desperate in nature that they have those feelings of loneliness, that feeling of being sad and wanting to be with someone so much that, of course, they would put their life and maybe others at risk and in danger. So should anybody right now kind of be entertaining that idea? I know it's not wrong. I'm not going to say it's wrong for anybody to have the natural affinity to want to be with someone. That's not wrong. But during this particular time, should people be more cautious and entertain that idea a little bit later?
Well, I don't think it's a later or now. To answer your point question, yes, you should be cautious, you should be concerned, and you should be afraid, because it's, again, the COVID is one thing, but cuffing season itself is dangerous on so many levels, because you may be sincere, but again, I'm going to keep saying this, that person that you're dealing with, if they understand the nature of cuffing season, it's like gathering time, hunting time. This is the time to go out and hunt and gather all the sexual partners you can and all the relationships that you can have, and take advantage of people and their economics. You take advantage of their social situation. And a lot of times on the other end of cuffing season, just like the hunting season, you have dead carcasses, dead relationships, people have been taken advantage of. Okay? Wow. So, yeah, this is very dangerous. So we have a remedy, but we can get into that in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, while I'm listening to all of this, I still find it so interesting with everything that goes on. And when people start to pop up out of nowhere or start saying things that they wouldn't normally say, looking at the timing is always important. So I just wanted to know if you noticed anything happening in your area with people just showing up or calling out of the blue during to cuffing season. Maybe they don't know what it is, but they just all of a sudden, here they come.
Yeah, it's physiological, psychological, so they don't know it's cuffing season. They don't have a definition for it, but they want to be with somebody, and your phone start ringing. More people that you haven't talked to in a while or had a relationship in the past will come forward and say they want to recommit their relationship to you, and you haven't talked to them all year. Mm-hmm. Some have lurked in the background and waited for this time of the first frost, depending on where you are in the United States. But it's not so much the cold as it is the season. Wherever you go, it's still harvest season in October. So this is the time where people get together, get ready to have social events. And again, it lets you know that even with COVID being out there, people are still, by nature, falling into the season of cuffing, wanting to be with somebody, wanting to hang out, wanting somebody close, wanting somebody in their bed, and the phone start ringing, you start answering, and under normal circumstances, You would never ever go back to that person under normal circumstances. That person that you're attracted to right now would never be attracted to in the summer months. But because of this season, it's almost like your guard goes down, and it's like a hormone in the air that just takes you to places and lets you deal with people intimately in a way that you would never ever deal with them. And then again, one day you wake up from the season, you're like, what have I done? Mm-hmm. What have I done? And a lot of times, what ends up coming out of this season is unwanted babies, horrific abortions, things that really damage you physically, emotionally, and maybe financially. And we need to take note of that as people. This is not a racial thing. This is people thing. As people, we need to take notice of that. And those of us who know what this is, we need to be ready to counsel people as they face this, because they don't know what they just, all they know is they want to be with somebody. Mm-hmm. That's all they know is it's like a mating season. I just want to be with somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up. I don't want to wake up with nobody in my bed.
Yeah.
I'm almost subtle with it because when I do counseling with people, but I just tell people, tell me how you really feel, and that's basically it. They don't understand. They just know their hormones, pheromones, the air is telling them, I need to be with somebody. So the calls are starting to come, ladies and gentlemen, and you know me, I'm more on the lady. The call is going to come. It hasn't, and because of COVID, it might have started early. That's why we got about 9 more days to a cuffing season to officially start right after Halloween.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we this is a pre-cuffing season warning show.
Yeah, you know what? I when you said that, I went and I was researching a little bit more about cuffing season, and they had this little schedule, like a football schedule, that was talking about the scouting of it during August, and they gave a timeline, the drafting picks, then the tryouts, and we're in October, so it's tryouts, and then the preseason, cuffing season, of course, playoffs, and then the championship in February 14th. So it's just like, that was so interesting that it goes along as a real football kind of season. Like you're trying out. People are trying out to see who they can call, who they can talk to and get in their ear and see if someone will listen and be like, hey, I'm single, you're single, you're not doing anything, we should be together. So they're trying out, and if you say no, which we're gonna pivot, if you say no, what kind of feelings do you think that brings up for that individual?
Before we go to no, I want to do this. Let's go back to the tryout.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you've seen who you can draft. You've seen who was good, and let's go. This is how the conversation starts. Hey, how you doing? I ain't talked to you in a long time. How you been doing? Now, depends on what the response is, will determine where they are placed on the draft choice.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes to, can we meet? Or maybe a second phone call. And if the person on the other end is receptive, they move higher up the draft to the point if they meet, they become a number one draft choice because they figure that now it's downhill from now. If they met with me, they broke bread with me, they went and had coffee with me, soda with me, drinks with me, happy hour with me, and they haven't talked to me in a while, and a few phone conversations has got them to the point where they show up and they smelling good, looking good, and just they're just ready. Blood in the water. They ready. They chum in the water. And I'm a shark. They ready. And you get ready to get to that point, and you can say no at that point, that pivot you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But most likely it is done so innocently and so swiftly, so much on the download slide, that you just think and part of you just thinks it's a, hey, how you doing? Let me check on you. I haven't talked to you in a while talk. But it's really getting ready to place you in a position to be taken advantage of. And think about it, starts in August. So you got August all the way to October 25th to work for that person to work this out. Mm-hmm. And decide where you want to be on the draft board.
Right.
Now, this is men and women now. So there's some women and sharks out there, so I'm not excluding them. We talk about people. Okay? Go ahead.
So when you talk about the draft pick, what was you just talking about? How do you pivot to that no? Is there a way to pivot to that?
Yeah. So now we're going to move into the solution. The solution is the most powerful word in the world. It's no. No, I'm not interested. No, I'm okay. And you may not be, but you have learned through your maturity that you go through these seasons. And so what you do is guard yourself through the season. And the first word is no. Now, what does no bring about to the era of no? If they are hard pressed and they have failed many different cuffing seasons, that no is going to drive them crazy, and they're going to come out aggressively eventually and say some things to you that you can't believe. 1 minute you want to get with me, and now you cussing me out, calling me out of my name, and calling me out of my character. So no is that thing that stops it, that puts a halt to it, that brings it to a point where the brain can reboot and think about it, even for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For you, no, the no stops the moving forward into yes. And we need to exercise no more. Mm-hmm. You know, and as a friend of mine, you know, I've taught you and talked to you, say no and see what happens.
Yep, that's right.
Now, you may have to say no a couple of times because they may be slick, they may be strong, but you say no the first time, and that's just their normal response. They've learned to say no. Keep saying no until you find a chink in that armor. The no might come from, let's get together and have lunch or dinner, and you say no. We'll just continue to talk on the phone. And then all of a sudden it just come out, the beast comes out. But these people are so skilled at it, they'll go from talking to you on the phone to talking to you under the covers. Mm-hmm. And you're wondering how to get there. So no is the most powerful word you can say in any relationships. Say no and see what happens. Women, quit saying yes so quick. Quit making it think that you're doing something for that man that is so special that yours is different from anybody else's, because it's not. I know that's a hard pill to swallow because your ego has to be attached to it, but it's not. Don't let no man tell you that. Same thing with y'all. Y'all tell men that all the time, don't you? Mm-hmm.
Well, when you were talking about that's really something when you do utilize the no, because it is going to make a telltale sign of where that person actually is, and they will show themselves. So while I was thinking about what you were talking about, why is no so hard to say for some people, and what about that little 2-letter word causes some to just become unhinged by that word?
Well, no is hard to say because, again, you're going through the natural progression of wanting to be with somebody too. You know what I mean? It doesn't take away. No doesn't take away the fact that you want to be with somebody. When no slows the process down, that person could be the person you need to be with. Okay, let's you know. But what no does is slow it down to a pace where you can think. Mm-hmm. It's not about your hormones no more. It's not about your sexual drive anymore. It's about thinking your way through this thing. You know, it's almost like this. You knew why you left that person, or you knew why you didn't talk to them 7 months ago. But you know what I'm saying? You knew why you haven't talked to them up to this day. Now all of a sudden they come at you, and you are even considering saying yes. You need no to slow you down and put you back in place. Because I'm just in for conversation. If they were a bum in any category of life, male or female, 6-7 months ago, or a year ago, and you dropped them because of bum, and you describe that bumness in any way you want to, financially, socially, politically, religiously, psychologically, emotionally, if they were a bum, then there's no reason for you to pick them up. You dropped them because of that. You didn't talk to them because of that. You left them alone. You kept them at a distance because of that. And now all of a sudden, they come with the same line, but your mind is susceptible to that, but the no slows it down. Now, for those who are aggressive with it, again, it's like throwing stuff on the wall. You hope you can something visually sticks. Some people look at it like this. If I keep shooting, eventually I'm going to kill something. So they're not strategic with it. They just cast a large net. They just start calling people. The largest net is on these chat lines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we didn't have that before. You had to meet somebody somewhere. Now you can meet everybody all the time, 24 hours a day, and you can cast a larger net. And that's where the danger comes in. Because there are those out here who are on these chat lines and on these date chat lines, and you can cast a gigantic net. And you know eventually you'll find someone who really don't know you that you can create a profile about yourself that's not true, and not only get that person to sleep with you, get the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and then once you figure out the kind of person that sleeps with you, you'll focus even more. And now what you'll do is you become an expert at finding out those women or men who fit that category, and you'll start being more precise with it. Instead of cashing there for 1,000 people, you'll cash in there for the 250 people that all are kind of the same. I've noticed that some people in these chat rooms, you look at them, they go after the same type of person every time because they've had success at it. Mm-hmm. So eventually, if I cast my net 1,000 people that I know that responded maybe 5 before, I may get even more this time. Because again, the person that's the shark is not looking for a monogamous serious relationship. They're just trying to get their freak on.
True.
So no slows all that down.
So
and
I
say no. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pastor Jay. Go ahead, finish.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, because I was thinking about what you were saying with those chat lines, and I think it's the same thing with these dating apps as well. That gives you that broad reach that you would have never had if these dating apps and these chat lines were not available. That you can reach people that you don't normally get to run into, and because of this isolation in this time, people can say just about anything and just woo you with something if you are easily maneuvered by what you hear, which is another thing that we have to be mindful of, because some people can say the right thing and that can move someone too.
Well, I'm going to use your phrase that I heard from you. They are experts on giving people orgasms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to jump over into the spiritual world. Faith comes by hearing, hearing comes by the word of God. Hearing is more powerful than seeing. I'm going to say it again. Hearing is more powerful than seeing. Sometimes, I've heard that, how did that guy pull that girl, or how did that girl pull that guy? 9 times out of 10, it's what they've said. It's what they said. I've seen very beautiful women, beautiful, model beautiful. They don't have any dates because everybody's scared to talk to them. Everybody's assuming that they have someone, and then they end up with a guy that you're like, how did they end up with them? That guy was brave enough to begin to talk to them. People want to be talked to. People want to be told they're great, that they're pretty, that they're handsome. People want their ego stroked. And you don't get your ego stroked by eye, you get your ego stroked by word. So the more masterful you are at the word, the better hunter you will be, because that's your weapon. In hunting cuffing season, that's your weapon, your words. That's your gun, your words. Then the better off you are, do it, and more successful you'll be during this season.
Well, since we're still talking about no, no can be seen as negative, but it can also be seen as powerful. Do you think that no can be a powerful and an empowering word and not have such a negative connotation for people who think that if I say no, this is just, I'm going to hurt that person and I don't really want to say it?
Well, yeah. But let's be real. That, what you just said, is a female reaction normally. That if I say no, I'm going to hurt this person. Well, let's go deeper into that thought of that you're going to hurt this person. It's almost narcissistic in a way, because what you say is, what you think you're going to say is going to impact this person to the point that they're going to jump out a window. So you taking on the caretaker role on somebody you shouldn't even mess with. But because you think your no is so powerful, it is. But realize this. You're saying no to protect you. You don't need to be concerned about them, because they're going to move on and go hunting somewhere else. They ain't going to stop at you. You see, that's the ego kicking. If I say no, they may not find nobody. If I say no, you may hurt their feelings. If I say no, then you need to quit worried about that, because if you say yes, you will get your feelings hurt. You follow me?
I do follow you.
Because it takes a mighty narcissistic person to think that on their words the world falls or stands up. And I find that a lot in male and female. But it's normally the female who's dealing with this man who's coming at them, that they go into this, well, if I say no, I got to break it down to him softly, because he's so sensitive. That's another game they play. He's so sensitive. He's scared to commit. Man, that's the biggest game that men have played on women since the beginning of time. Let me give y'all a little secret. Get close to the phone. Men are not scared to commit, and men aren't that sensitive. Not real men. What men do is know that you're sensitive about commitment, and that you're sensitive about these things, and what they play into is your sensitivity about it, and tell you what you want to hear. So if you have this mothering thing going on with you and the men that you date, where you take care of them, you ride or die, you do this, you buy them everything, you let them come and live with you, you let them play the video games, you put them in nice gear, you think you being their mama and doing something good for them. And all they doing is sitting back taking. And the day you decide to stand up and say, okay, you can't sit here and play video games all day. You can't drive my car around. You can't. They calmly look at you and say, why not? You never required me to do nothing even before. You're protecting your investment. But what you're actually doing is you're setting up your investment. They're not so sensitive that they appreciate you to the point they won't cheat on you, they won't leave you, and take the stuff that you gave and take it to the next person. So that no stops all that, because if you really say no and mean it, then you ain't got to worry about that. But again, I want to say there might be somebody out there for you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this time is not a season to whereas people won't be out there. You know, you might not meet someone, but you got to be cautious. And no should be your first word. Let's see what happens, how they react to you when you say no. Because how can this sensitive, think about this, how can that sensitive, nice man who said he wanted to be with you and love the ground you walk on and tell you about how great you are and all this, your curves and your hips and your lips and your shoes and the way you dress, and then you say no, and now you Henrietta Hippo. Mm-hmm. Huh? Hold on. You just told me you want to spend the rest of your life with me. And I said, N-O, and it just dismantled everything that you said about me, because he was never sensitive for real. He was playing the game that you have portrayed to him what you wanted. Mm-hmm. Women, be strong. I'm telling you. I tell a woman in a minute, be strong before you become too soft. I'm not saying not be feminine, but start off with no. Let's see if he really wants to be with you. I ain't saying be an ugly no. Just say, nah, we'll just continue talking on the phone. You tell on that last.
Yeah.
You'll see how long that lasts, because most of them want to move pretty quickly. Talk to you on the phone a couple of weeks, couple of days. If they can talk to you every day, that's time in, and eventually they're going to want to see you. And trust me, when they want to see you, they want to do more than just have dinner with you. Mm-hmm. You on the menu.
So, since so you said that,
and as they said, it's tight, but it's right. Well, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna be coming to a close in a little bit. So saying no to getting an official COVID-19 cuddle buddy, should we really just tell everyone to take your time? I know what people are seeing out there, and they're watching people pass, and they're thinking they don't have time to find anybody. Their biological clock is running that. They may not find that companion. But jumping in during this time, it would be, just in my opinion, just to sit back and let things unfold and don't rush. Why rush? What's the rush?
Yeah, what's the rush? Why now? And again, that's when you got to get into the psychological nature of cuffing season. Why is it that you feel so pressed now? Because this is the time the whole world is pressed.
Mm-hmm.
This is the season. This is hunting season. You know, and again, real story, not made up, know it for a fact. A young lady, I used to work in correction, and a young officer was in the field and in an all-male situation. And what happened was, as she dealt, now she went to work every day to deal with all these males. And let me tell you something, some of these males that's inside, they have nothing other better to do to look at and study the guard. And if you're a female, they're studying you for many different reasons. Well, as she conversated with them, as she told them personal things, this one guard, this one inmate, he was going to get out. He wasn't going to go to the penitentiary, the jail. He started a relationship with her. And when he got out, which was against policy, but she kept it quiet. When he got out, instead of, and they would tell us to say no. When he got out, he moved in with her. He moved in with her for 8 weeks. She came to work one day, kind of disheveled, and told me, because I was a captain at the time, she told me what happened. She moved the guy in, and she came home one day, and everything in her house was gone. Everything she had worked for was gone. Clothing, jewelry, shoes, furniture. She came home to an empty house as if she never lived there. And he's gone. Now, of course, she had relations with him. She gave him money. She did all of that because she got wooed at the time she should have been saying no. That can happen to you during this season, men and women. You could be taken advantage of and lose everything that you work for, all because you cannot say no. And again, mentally, you know that's what you should be saying. If you know you're a sucker for the word, you need to learn the word no. Because it's so dangerous. It is so dangerous. So you need to be careful. Don't go to bed with them yet. You know, you people need to pass this on, share this video podcast, and really get out here, share, have a watch party, discuss it amongst your friends, and be truthful, because if you be truthful, it can help you. Because that's why me and T do this, because this is like real talk. This ain't pastor talk, but this is pastor talk, because I'm trying to help some people. She's trying to help some people. We're just being real with it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. You're okay. So, I was reading, and I know in Matthew 37, I'm just going to say something quick. It says, simply let your yes be yes and your no, no. Anything beyond this becomes from the evil one. So, when we say other things and try to skirt around the no, it really gives people the idea that we are entertaining and considering. So when there is an opportunity, which I will be doing later on, but when there's an opportunity to be definitive in a no, should we just give that no and not try to bounce around and beat around the bush? Just come out and say no.
Yes. Yes. You should not play with it, because if you play with it, that shows weakness.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into that, I got to be careful, I got to find the right no word to say no. There is no right no word, because anything other than no is a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And a maybe normally turns into yes. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe normally turns into a yes. So if you be like, well, maybe we can just continue to talk. Oh, they know they understand they're on their way. But if you say no 3 times, they'll leave you alone. Trust me. I mean, you got to be definitive. You don't have to be ugly. Just say, no, we're not doing that. You want to still talk to me? And when you hear that hesitation, that 3-4 second hesitation, you already count. Because they're not gonna waste this opportune time to continue to pursue someone who has told them no. They got to move on to easier prey. This is not about hunting somebody that tells you no that you want to pursue and have a great relationship with. This is a season, so you don't have much time. February will be here before you know it. And the stages you talked about are so important. So definitive no, yeah, we'll stop all of that. Definitive no. Not a shaky no, but a definitive no.
Well, Pastor Jay, I'm glad that we do get a chance to do this, because every time this happens and it goes around, you hear more stories of people getting involved with individuals they had no business being with. And if you learned anything from prior relationships and you could learn from those mistakes or whatever you learned, and you take that into your now, you can definitely see that slowing down and utilizing that no to the best of your natural ability is going to be helpful, and it shouldn't really present a challenge. It should just, like you said, give you time to think, give you space and clarity before you say, oh yeah, I'm just going to jump into this relationship because I'm feeling a kind of way. I'm feeling this emotional influx within me, and I just desire someone. So we're going to wrap up now, and I just wanted to see if you wanted to leave any extra thoughts for those who might be entertaining an individual that they do know, the signs are there, but they are not saying that no.
Yeah, if you can't bring yourself to say no, don't answer the phone. Don't answer the phone. Don't respond to texts. Don't respond to email. If you can't say no, the non-response is a no. Okay, so you don't have to verbalize. You could just not respond, not call. Don't let your urge to care about them in so much that after you haven't talked to them, you call them to check on them. And it's like, I got her because she's resisting me or he's resisting me, and now he's calling me. That don't even make sense. But people do that all the time. Let me check on them. Because your ego, again, kicks in, and you kind of get excited that somebody's pursuing you. And next thing you know, you're sitting in a situation where it's now you pursuing them. Yeah, just walk away. I know it's painful, but walk away because it's good for you. And it's better for you than you can ever imagine. Because if you fall down that rabbit hole and it's the wrong person, it may take you years to recoup emotionally, psychologically, physically, and financially, and spiritually from that short period of season. Because you might go from prey to predator because you've been done wrong. And now we're talking about you being out here bagging and tagging men and women.
Well, Pastor Jay, thank you so much for coming over to God's Gift Through His Word and sharing, like I always appreciate and love you for doing. So where can people get connected with you and donate and all that good stuff so people know where to find you at?
Well, you can go to our podcast at Walking Truth Radio Network. You can put in the search engine of your choice hashtag BRJCS2 or hashtag WITCFC, and that'll give you everything that we do. We're on Facebook at Walk in Truth Christian Fellowship Facebook page, and we're also on YouTube at the Walk in Truth Radio Network page, which is the same name as our daily podcast. We do a daily podcast. I do an encouraging word, all of our lesson conversations, and then also you can go to my Let Us Reason Together Facebook page, and over there I give words of wisdom, and like I say, talks like this will go probably on that page and on my personal page. So we can be found anywhere. Just type in Walk in Truth Radio Network, and you can find us on your favorite platform of social media or broadcasting.
All right. Thank you, Pastor Jay. So I want you guys to really find him and find his pages and really connect and donate as your move
Oh,
to.
yeah, if you want to donate, you can donate down in the description box. PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo.
Yes, don't forget to do that because he's always doing great work, him and his congregation and others. So please do not hesitate to send something and let him know that you care. So I'm going to get out of here. Pastor Jay, thank you so much. Always a pleasure and a delight. You guys remember what I say. I'm going to say it and then Pastor Jay will say his. Remember to always be blessed, motivated, and always inspired to do what God lays on your heart. And Pastor Jay?
Always be encouraged and blessed and be in peace, and always remember, walk in truth.
All right, you guys have a blessed day. Take care.
See you later.
Hey, Miss Tanika, what's going on, girl? You know I had to give you a call back and rock your world and say thank you so much. You know, every time I hear your lovely voice, I just seem to blush and I can't get enough. I figured I'd give you a little call back and do it a little different for you, something you've never had before from me, a Brighter Day instrumental, baby. So let's get it, all right? Ooh, yeah, I said, hey, I said, hey, I said, hey, yeah, I said, hey, Miss Tanika, it's nice to meet you. You a radiant, positive light. I love everything you do, day or night. I think that I'm with you. Everything is all right. I hope you having a beautiful day, as beautiful as you, because you deserve the best out of life, and it's true. I hope you understand that I appreciate you, even if I don't always get over to your station to make you smile. Just know that I'm thinking of you and everything that I do. I hope you having a great day, Miss Tanika. That's all I wanted to say. Hey.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed God's gift through His Word. Please don't forget to check me out on all the following podcast platforms: Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podbean, ListenNotes.com, LoftyCast.com, Radio Public, of course, and Spotify. There are tons more podcast platforms. You can definitely check me out on any of those that you feel to do. And please do not forget to get social with me. You can find me on Facebook, IG, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Let me know how you found me. Let me know how we can get connected. And maybe you can also be a guest on the show. So I hope you're going to have an amazing day, an amazing night, an amazing afternoon whenever you tune into God's gift through His Word, from all the different countries and from all the different places where you tune in each and every day. I hope that you find this inspiring. I hope you find it motivating, and I hope it helps you just a little bit walk a little stronger in your faith with the Lord. Have an amazing day. Remember to always be blessed, motivated, and inspired to do what God has laid on your heart. Take care, and thank you for tuning in.